uh, to tell us about how can people decide which information is correct and which is incorrect from the net. What are the authentic sources of scientific information for patients with rheumatic diseases which they can accept and which they can discard? So if you go to Dr. Google, he can only confuse you and he can make you a victim of all kinds of misconceptions. So there are Swamis, there are Babas, there are high profile spiritual God industry who takes control of your life. So we would like to hear from Dr. Akerkar. How can you make judicious use of information? Because today we are living in information explosion. So we need the right information so that we are not affected by any bad information. Professor
Absolutely, sir.
Mukherjee will come back to you, sir, later.
Yeah, that's a very important point in today's world.
Yeah.
It's an age of information overload. How
Yes.
can we really find out which information is correct information? First of all, I'm a big supporter of patient empowerment, and information on the internet definitely is one of the sources of patient empowerment. But mind you, what is very important is that there can be a lot of information which is misleading and it can fool you altogether into some miracle cure and quite a few other things. So first and foremost, see, even tomorrow, if I put on my YouTube channel that people with ankylosing spondylitis come to my clinic, I give them cow dung and they improve, nobody is going to stop me from posting that video. There is no censorship on the internet. Anybody can post anything, and if he has a reach, it can reach anybody. It can reach you as well. So how do we go about in understanding what is reliable information? One, if you see come across any such miracle cure, any such information for that matter, one, see the site. You can always cross check on Google itself. You can, you can use trusted sites like PubMed Central. You can use uptodate.com. So whatever you see, you go to these sites. These are trusted sites. That have not just physician related information but have a proper channel for patient related information also. So there you'll see whether so and so XYZ therapy, suppose is said for rheumatoid, you can always see in the recommendations on these pages whether this therapy is an accepted form of therapy in that particular disease, yes or no. That is where you can get the information. Second, and something that is very important, suppose you don't find this information, one, write it down on your in your diary. Next time when you visit your rheumatologist, ensure that you discuss about this therapy with your rheumatologist and understand the pros and cons and whether this is a valid form of therapy in the first place. Most important, without confirmation, do not take any decisions related to your disease purely based on what you see on the internet. You need to confirm it, as I said, one. Second, when it comes to social media groups, again, this is one more place from where in modern day, in today's world, you keep on getting information. It can be a Facebook page, it can be a WhatsApp channel. You can, you keep on getting a lot of information about various things. How do you go about this? First and the foremost, one thing that you should always understand in these groups, whether it is Facebook or WhatsApp groups, so many times what happens is these are very filtered sort of groups. What do I mean by filtered? See, suppose if somebody is freshly diagnosed with, say, ankylosing spondylitis, in the early phase, he's in need of information. He always, tends to go to various Facebook pages, WhatsApp groups, and tries to get more and more information. Suppose after 6 months, suppose his ankylosing spondylitis is, all well covered, his disease activity is controlled, he has no pain. Do you think he'll keep visiting the page, keep chatting there, keep continuously chatting in the WhatsApp groups? No. The human tendency says that once your need goes down, the the involvement in these groups also tends to go down. So what then happens is these groups generally have a predominance of those people who are not settling down for various reasons, or those who have had side effects with quite a few medications. So whenever you ask questions, you may get biased answers. They may not be answers from those who have really improved. It is, there is an inherent bias that you may get answers from those who have not settled or those who have ended up with side effects. So whenever you get responses from these sources as well, always, one, as I said, go to these trusted sites on the internet, find out the correct information. And second, do discuss with your rheumatologist as well. What is most important? Get whatever information you can get from various sources, discussions. You put it down in your diary, confirm it second with trusted source, and most important, do discuss with your rheumatologist before taking any further decision. There are so many patients that we come across these patients on a regular basis. Some XYZ found something on the internet. There is a magic magnetic bed which is available, which cures all arthritis. Person ends up spending some 85,000, and then at the end of 3 to 6 months he realizes that this was all a fake. So don't fall prey to these foolish techniques. These are scam techniques. Be aware of them. Do discuss with your rheumatologist.